Hey you guys, it's your girl Kamika. Welcome back to the Love Makiba official channel. Now you guys know that I must love y'all so much and be so committed to doing these betas because your girl is getting on here all soaking wet and looking kind of crazy. I don't wear a lot of makeup naturally, but I just feel like I ain't got no color on my face. I ain't got no lipstick. My eyebrows growing out and I need some rouge. Some rouge. But that's okay. The show has to go on, and I want to make sure that I give you guys the wrap up of part two of my DMV horror story. The title of that one, I think, is Beta number 19. I almost went off at the DMV. I was actually going to name it. I almost loped up at the DMV, but I didn't because I'm trying to be PC, y'all. So roll with a sister here, right? So anyway, thank you for sticking with me as I do these videos every day in August. So let's get into part two of my DMV horror story. So where we left off in the previous video is that I had received an appointment to come back in the afternoon to complete my DMV services. And it's good I did because then I was able to leave there and go directly to work and get some things done, some orders and different things like that sent out. And so then I was able to come on home, which was great. And guess what I found in the mail? My tags. So apparently with all this crazy stuff that's going on with, you know, your president and the postal services and everything, the mail got scanned for me on that day that I told you guys that I saw it in informed delivery. Which, by the way, if you have a chance to, as a resident, get yourself informed delivery. It will let you know every single morning what mail is coming to your mailbox. As long as we got a post office, right? It'll let you know which pieces of mail is coming to your mailbox, and then you'll be able to know if you need to rush home or have somebody pick up your mail for you. Okay, so anyway, so apparently they had scanned it, but they didn't deliver it. So I get home after my ordeal at the DMV, and my tags are in the mailbox, and I'm thinking, God, you really tested my patience here, right? You want, see, God knows what I got. He want me to know what I ain't got. Right? He really wants me out. It's still like 85 degrees out here, but you know I ain't complaining. But anyway, but he wants me to see what I'm lacking. So I get the tags and I'm happy, but I still needed to go on back to the DMV to get some other paperwork finished. Ever since my parents went home to glory, going up to yonder, I've been left with their estate, and so their estate has other cars that I kind of needed to get under control and get the paperwork and things like that for. So I went ahead and went back to get that done. So let me tell you what happened with your kinfolk when I rolled up again. So when I rolled up and pulled into the parking lot, your sister friend was standing at the front door helping people. And I just felt this anger come up in me, like the chicken actually did something like right in my face to me. I was like, I don't want her touching nothing. I don't want her helping me with nothing. I don't want her saying hi about nothing. She don't need to be there. So I get there early because I usually get places early, and I'm in the car organizing my papers. I got about 15 minutes before my appointment. And then I just said, you know what, the hell with it. Let me go on in here, get some act right on me, and get what I need to get. So as I'm walking up, she's gone. So I'm like, oh, yay. She's gone. So I stand in line to let them know that I have an appointment. And the woman who was originally taking the appointments got lost somewhere. She just, helped somebody else and just got lost. And that's kind of what they've been doing. You can kind of tell that folks, go to help one person and then they'll take them the long way so that they don't have to help as many people. So this little woman that I was expecting to talk to that was very personable to everybody all of a sudden disappeared. So I'm the kind of person that I don't come to the counter until you call me because I don't need nobody acting up. Folks, especially at the civil service offices, get a little buck when you walk up to the counter. Now they got to go to lunch or they got to do some other things. So they be itching for you to scratch them. So I didn't. So I'm just standing there waiting for her to come back. And another one of your cousins is sitting at the door organizing and sorting papers with a mask on. I have a mask on. We all got masks on. And so she says to me, ma'am, can I help you? But I can't hear her. And so, because she was actually having a conversation with her coworker, and they were laughing and talking and all that other kind of stuff while they were sorting papers. So I can't hear her. So because I don't respond, she gets an attitude. Ma'am, can I help you? I am a woman of a certain age, and I'm a little hood. I will get at you. It starts in the mind. I have to catch myself. And I said, are you talking to me? And she said, yes. And I'm thinking, oh God, now you know. I said, sweetheart, let me help you with something real fast. I can't hear a word that you're saying. I'm going to need you to talk louder. Let me move closer. Well, I was just asking, can I help you? Okay, yeah, I would love it if you help me. But I can't hear you because you're talking low and you got a mask on and you're sitting. I don't know why I'm telling y'all this story. But she goes to help me, but the whole time that she's helping me get my paperwork, she's very short because I could tell that she's bothered, but she's the one that popped bad first in 90-degree weather. And I'm so PC that normally I try and innocent. I guess I do this a lot. I make excuses sometimes for people's shortcomings because I would rather walk in peace and pursue peace than not. But on this day, she had that same spirit as the chick earlier. And I could tell him, look, I could tell in my mind. This is just a story I made up in my mind to go along with the dialogue that was happening. In my mind, I was like, oh, you work for that other chick. So you go act like her. So long story short, she ends up helping me, but she's so short in doing it. And this is something that I learned in all the years that I've managed teams. And something I really had to learn, especially with us as women of color, especially when we've been so disenfranchised, is that there are two things that we need to master when it comes to working in corporate environments and customer facing environments. And it's more than just saying customer service. We have to learn to, number one, be proficient, and number two, we have to learn to be competent. And what many of us master is being proficient, meaning we know how to do our job. We know the A to the B of it. We know how to get the work on time. And we know how to do everything with our eyes closed. But to be competent at it means we know how to do it without it changing who we are internally. It doesn't change the integral person. We know how to do it with a smile. We know how to do it with sincerity. We know how to do it with sympathy and empathy. We know how to do it with the mind to serve others. We want to serve others rather than be served. And we know how to share and disseminate information without feeling challenged. So proficiency is one thing. Competence is another. And a lot of people that I have managed have been very proficient, but they haven't been very competent. And unfortunately for us, not to say it's only us, because it's not only us, but I'm talking to mostly Black women, I'm sure. And as a Black woman, I find that we struggle with the competent part because we get offended or people approach us in sideways manners. You've seen this before, and then I'm going to get off of this. You've seen this when you have gone places and somebody is just so professional. Hi, good afternoon, may I help you? And you go to talk to them and you tell them what it is that you need. And they ignore all of the nuances of what you said and then deal with a general problem, not your specific problem. Which is why you'll end up at government offices like the DMV and you'll say, I need a lien release. Such and such happened with the lien holder. And they won't give you what you need. Like, she didn't give me the paperwork that I needed because she wasn't listening to me. Granted, she was annoyed, right, by me and maybe anybody else that had come before me, but she didn't take the time to resolve the issue. So when I got inside, and then she kept getting upset with me because she was giving me papers and telling me to fill them out. And I said, should I get a clipboard? Because there were clipboards right there. Please wait, ma'am. I'm trying to help you. No, you're not trying to help me. You don't got your butt on your shoulders. But I said, okay, I will leave this alone because I can mess up everything up in here. No, I'm joking. So I went inside and I asked the young man, or as I walked in, the security guard, which is another one of our kin folks, came in. As I was walking in, he decided to personally help me because he recognized, oh, she ain't doing right by you. Let me go in and personally help you. Yeah, Miss Ma'am, let me show you exactly what you're going to go and what you need to do and blah, 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 blah. And I told him thank you. And he was just such a sweet spirit and so cool. And as a matter of fact, the other person I was working with was also the same woman from before that had signed me in. And she was so sweet and cool. Everybody was cool but us, right? So then I get to the DMV window that I got to go to. And one of the young men said, yeah, sit right here and fill out your paperwork. I don't know why they didn't tell you where to go. I may have to have you move because they may give me a number, but you sit there for as long as you need to, or at least until I get a customer. I said, okay. So I filled out my paperwork. Then when my number got called, I got up and went to her window, this other woman's window. And at first she was a little short and she was being proficient and not competent. And then I said, well, let me tell you what happened outside. She kind of got it together and said, oh, and got real quiet. And then I stopped and I said, how are you doing during this pandemic with all the process changes? She said, ma'am, let me tell you. And then she just went into telling me what went on. And then ultimately what happened is she gave me a step-by-step, a set of directions as to how to resolve the issue that I was having. And she ended up being the sweetest and the coolest because I took the time to stop and say, your folk is crazy. I understand. How can I make it better? And how are you doing? Right. So that's the end of part 2. I'm not going to belabor this any much longer, but I just had to tell you about your folk. But as women of color especially, we are often so worried about being mistreated, misused, abused, or not getting what we deserve that we like to give, as my mom used to call it, this nice, nasty disposition and kill who we really are on the inside so that we could just present something to people. Stop doing that. This is just my suggestion because I'm trying to roll it back on the advice here. But really, don't let anybody kill your spark and your fire in you. Be who you are, but learn that you ain't the boss of everything. You don't run everything, and the best leaders start as servants first. Learn how to just give of yourself, and that, at the same time, allow that to be your greatest reward, and then you will see that windows and doors will just open up for you. And be kind to one another. Okay, you guys, that's the end of my story time. That's also the end of beta number 20. Is that 20? Or is this 19? This is beta number 20. We caught up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I will see you guys again tomorrow with our next beta. Don't forget to rate, like, comment, and share. And if you have a beta request, we got about 10 or 11 more of these to do. Let me know if there's something in particular you would like for me to talk about. I love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye.